Got a special someone, or want to treat yourself to something nice this Valentine's Day? Use code CUPID to get 20% off your purchase in our Teespring store. Get one of our many Roundtable designs, or maybe our Steven Universe inspired looks suit you better. Offer ends February 15th. Link in the description. Welcome back to Crystal Clear IRL on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox and I'm with my co-host Tom.
Don't eat lead.
So ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, each and every week we meet here at this round table, not the black one from the first episode, that one was a pain in the ass to get up here, and we discuss Steven Universe theories, but not just any kind of Steven Universe theories, your Steven Universe theories. But you may be wondering, how do we get those theories to you? Because this show is all about bridging the gap between us at the round table and you, the audience. Well, right now we have two segments. One segment each week we go back on the Stardust app, look back at old episodes, leave your review, and leave your theory, and you tag us on the app at Roundtable Vids. For those of you unaware, Stardust is an app where you can leave your reactions, your reviews, your thoughts on episodes of television shows and movies, movie trailers, so on and so forth. It's like the nerdy part of Facebook, but without all the taxes and political talk getting in the way.
People talk about taxes on Facebook?
No, people always talk about taxes on Facebook.
I see it on Twitter more.
This week we're going back over the episode The Trial, and I asked you to leave your theories on who shattered Pink Diamond. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it.
Are you gonna leave in the part where you're on Tinder?
Okay, good episode so far, but here's what I'm thinking. Why wasn't attending? And I've seen this episode before, and I have time to think about this. So I'm thinking White is the most affected by this. The shattering of Pink Diamond and her death. I'm thinking that White has gone over the edge in a way, and I think when we see her, she's going to try to be a mother again. I don't know to whom or to what, but I think she's going to try to be a grandmother or something.
And that reaction was from NM Seals. Can I call you Seals? Alright, Seals, I think you could be onto something because we really don't know anything about White Diamond. So I think it could either go either way. Either she really was attached to Pink Diamond, or she didn't care at all. And either solution is why she was absent at the trial. Now, I think your scenario is very interesting. Now, we see how Blue is. Blue's a complete wreck, but to see someone who's even worse than a wreck, who kind of just like secludes herself from everybody, and when she returns, she'll try to be kind of maternal and motherly again. I think that's a very interesting take to go. Because like White Diamond, I feel like she's truly the wild card of the Diamond Authority. Which scenario do you think is more likely to happen? Like White's a grandmother taking care of Pink, like how a grandmother acts towards her child or grandchild, or do you think White was not caring at all? Like which one do you think would be the more interesting route in all this?
White Diamond caring? Just because that would have more, that would make Pink Diamond being shattered mean more to the story.
More emotional weight to it.
Yeah, because it would be kind of weird if it's just like, once White Diamond is introduced, it's like, oh, I don't care about any of that, and then that whole big angle is just like swept under the rug.
It actually reminds me when That Will Be All aired, Cartoon Network had like this See Inside, like every few episodes they have Rebecca come on to talk about like the episode. I remember for That Will Be All they said that she wants to explore how everyone's grieving different ways without really like going into details. So I think that includes White Diamond, how she's grieving, which means she would care to an extent, or she did care to an extent, and she still does care. So yeah, I do think you're very on something, Seals. Thank you for your submission.
Everyone's talking about the diamonds, while I rather want to talk about the zircons. Their eye thing, are they able to, like, make into things? Since, are they, like, Pearl's holograms? Because I want to see a zircon, like, surf from those eye thingies. And I want to see, and that's kind of what I want to see Blue Zircon become a crystal gem.
I feel like the monocles are just monocles, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be kind of amusing if they could turn to maybe maybe if the Zircons fuse, they would become like a full pair of glasses. As for Zircon becoming a crystal gem, I do think she will assist Steven/Rose and further investigating what happened to Pink Diamond, just because she seemed like she was onto something, and Blue Diamond might want to deplore her to explore the Earth a little more, to see the crime, maybe other locations. So I do think she's a valuable asset to Steven throughout the season. As to actually becoming crystal gem, I think we'll have to wait and see. I do believe Sugar said the Zircons are in trouble, which obviously means we're going to see them again.
I mean, maybe.
I feel like it'd be weird to not follow up on them, or at least, especially Blue Zircon. Yellow Zircon, I mean, she was just kind of there to just be the antagonist, but I can't see her becoming a long-term character. But I do think she still has a role to play in all this.
If they do bring back the Zircons, or at least Blue Zircon, then I feel like they're definitely going to have to bring back Topaz and Dora. Whatever her name was.
Aquamarine.
Yeah.
Well, why?
Well, because it's the same thing with Topaz. Like, we saw her get in trouble, and that's like we haven't seen her since.
No, Aquamarine let her off the hook. She was like, I'm not going to tell anyone what happened if we just let this slide.
I mean, either way, if they're going to bring back Zircon, then chances are they're going to bring back Topaz and Aquamarine.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going to appear again.
And we already saw how Topaz was the first time around. I feel like it'll be like the same type of thing. Where they're going to have like similar roles played.
Do you think Blue Zircon could become a crystal gem? And the only reason why I propose this is because, like, accusing both the diamonds of murdering Pink Diamond, that's kind of like throwing away your loyalty entirely. It's not just how she felt in the moment, but the fact that she even had that thought and, like, the ability to doubt them to that extent, I do think means she could easily defect from them. Plus, I think she was still kind of miffed that she served the court for thousands of years, yet she was put in a kind of like a losing trial.
I mean, I feel like that kind of depends on your definition of what a crystal gem is. Like, do you mean like they're just going to help the crystal gems and then therefore by association they're crystal gems? Or are they going to go back to Earth and live with them? Because I feel like at this point, things are getting a little bit crowded on Earth.
Yeah.
Nanaflaw or Meridui or whoever's in charge is probably going to be like, yo, can't have all these aliens just...
Build the wall.
Like, this is gonna, like, you're overpopulating your occupancy. There's too many people in your house. You're causing a public disturbance.
But then, well, I mean, it also depends if they would all live around Beach City or if they, because, you know, Labs and Parrot, they don't live in Beach City, so that's why I think the townsfolk is made to a blind eye to them.
They live on, like, the outskirts, so.
Yeah.
Like, they don't live, like, way far away. It's, like, still within the same sphere of area. So it's like there's gonna have like a barn full of aliens just outside the town. It's just getting a little too crowded on that end of things.
Thank you, Party Pope, for your reaction.
So what if the reason Lars could breathe, even though he like was out of the bubble in the next 2 episodes, is because Homeworld has oxygen? Obviously has oxygen because he can breathe. But what if the reason it has oxygen is because Pink Diamond needs to breathe because she was also organic life? And she can manipulate organic life, and this contributes to her shattering herself theory. What if she manipulated herself and got shattered because of the organic life?
I don't believe Pink Diamond was organic. I just believe the reason why, and correct me if I'm wrong, Tom, if you know the answer to this, but I'm pretty sure in order for sound to travel, you need oxygen.
Not necessarily oxygen, but there has to be something for the sound to bounce off of.
Yeah. So
like, there has to be an atmosphere.
Yeah, an atmosphere. And, you know, obviously, gems communicate, Homeworld communicates, so that's why there's an atmosphere on the moon base, on Homeworld. I think it's just a means to travel. Plus, in the beginning of Off Colors, I think we did see, like, in the background, like, underground of Homeworld, it looked like some kind of, I don't want to say tree, but something similar to trees. So I think Homeworld produces some kind of atmosphere, some kind of gen that is similar to oxygen that allows the characters to communicate and therefore Lars to breathe. Now, for that being toxic, I think you just got suspended disbelief, but we don't know how the diamonds were created. Obviously, Pink Diamond just looked for a mural. She emerged from the ground like any other gem, while we don't really see anything similar to that in Yellow and Blue's murals or White's murals. So I think as we dive deeper into it, we'll get a better answer. But for now, I would not bet on Pink being organic. But still, thank you, Skittles, for your reaction.
I mean, doesn't Steven still need to breathe?
Yeah.
He's organic, though.
Yeah.
But I mean, with what he's referring to with Lars in the bubble, I don't think that was necessarily for him to breathe. I think they were just trying to, like...
Shut him up?
Yeah, like, keep him contained.
Yeah. This next one's Lex Zeppelin 00.
Yeah, I don't think Yellow had much to do with the shattering. It's obvious she's trying to hide something from Blue, but I think it's more likely that White did it. But also, I don't know if how much of a cover-up Rose Quartz was. It's a hard thing to talk about.
I'm inclined to agree with you on the yellow part, Zeppelin. I don't think Yellow Diamond shattered Pink Diamond or had a role in it. It just seems way too obvious. Plus, like, as we've seen from Yellow in relation to Pink Diamond, she clearly cared. Like, at the end of What's Use Flame Blue, she, like, almost breaks down. In Jungle Moon, one, she calls Pink Honey. She doesn't seem like to care about Pink. She just resents the fact that she didn't come out right, but it's not like she's totally giving up on her. She just wants her to be better despite all the disadvantages and everything that's holding her back. As for White shattering Pink, I mean, that's the direction I feel like they're gonna go, or being involved in it if one of the diamonds were involved. And who knows, maybe the diamonds weren't involved, but I think it's a possibility for any of the diamonds to do it. But in terms of the likeliness uniqueness of it and working into the story. I just don't see Blue being part of it, and I don't see Yellow, again, because red herring, but also this seems like the strict parent who did care and feels like they failed their child. And it's really hard for them to come to terms with that. Yeah, overall I think we'll have to wait and see, but thank you, Seven, for your reaction.
And with White Diamond, I mean, we don't know anything about White Diamond yet, so anything to do with her is hard to say.
I remembered the theory that Yellow Diamond was the one who shattered Pink Diamond, but looking back at it now, Yellow Diamond was a parental figure. She wouldn't want any harm going to her child, no matter how much they fought. The reason why she acts so aggressive is because she just doesn't want the memory to be brought up again of her daughter being shattered.
The thing is, I don't think it's necessarily that she doesn't want it brought up, but I feel like Zircon was kind of accusing Yellow Diamond of doing that. If someone you deeply cared about died, and then someone pointed the finger at you and said it's your fault, you're gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna lash out and you're gonna be really upset. So that's probably why she acted that way.
Maybe she knew in the back of her mind that someone else did that wasn't Rose. That's why she was so hasty to get the trial over with. She has this idea cemented that Rose did it. It couldn't have been anyone else. Like, no one, especially someone that's close to us, like another Diamond, would hurt her that way.
Well, okay, one theory is confirmed. Rose obviously did not shatter Pink Diamond. Because of the big reveal, it was a sword that killed her. Well, Rose's sword is obviously made to not shatter a gem. But that does leave a question that has been bothering me. Pearl definitely knows swords. What if she was the one responsible and possibly transformed into Rose, and that's why Eyeball keeps thinking it's Rose?
Yeah, so this was actually a theory that I covered before.
Is that confirmed?
What?
That Rose's sword can't shatter a gem?
Bismuth said that, like, she designed it to cut through a gem's physical form but not shatter the actual gem. That's the line everyone uses to, like, Rose's sword can't shatter gems, which, you know, I lean towards agreeing with that, but also
I don't know if that necessarily means it can't.
It's just that it's designed to, like, one swing won't shatter it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, like, I mean, it's still a possibility that if you swing hard enough, it can do it.
Yeah. Like, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's kind of like a taser. Like, you can tase someone, and it's designed to, like, contain them without killing them. But people still die from tasers.
Yeah.
Like, it's still something that can be lethal, even if it's not designed to be lethal. And it might have just been something where maybe she expected it to be designed that way, where she could swing her sword at Pink Diamond and it wouldn't shatter her, and that did shatter her.
Yeah. As for Pearl shattering Pink Diamond, I mean, this was a theory that I literally put out, like, the day after the episode of Back to the Moon came out, when it was revealed that Pink Diamond was shattered, just solely off of Pearl's reaction and, like, the fact we never seen Pearl shapeshift before. She has shown that she is very handy with a sword. However, I'm just not sure that's the secret at this point from my original thinking, that if Pearl would keep that from Garnet and Amethyst, because they both seem pretty sold that it was Rose who did it, and I don't think at this point they would lie to Steven about someone else doing it. That doesn't seem like something they would do, especially Garnet as a motherly figure. Yeah, she keeps secrets from Steven, but usually when those secrets are out, she doesn't keep a secret anymore. I mean, I think Pearl being involved is definitely interesting and compelling. It shows the length she went for Rose, and just how loyal she was. But actually, during the finishing blow, I'm gonna have to disagree with for now. But who knows? Maybe some other evidence, future episodes will show that, like, okay, yeah, maybe Pearl did do something. But regardless, Diki Konichi for your reaction.
This episode reminded me of a theory I had a while back, and that's shattering a gem isn't really death. Because we know both from the the fusion experiments and the cluster that they're still conscious and they have pieces of the memory still inside. Possibly mean that if, say, Steven were to collect all the shards of a gem, he might actually be able to revive it in a way, which would probably be the same for Pink Diamond, although I don't know if the show would use that, whether it's true or not.
Now, this is actually something that my next Crystal Clear, the proper Crystal Clear episode is based around. If Steven will bring back to life Pink Diamond, and I'm gonna say now something that I say in that video is that for the most part, most of Steven's powers that we've seen in the show has been used on both humans and gems. Like with his mind powers, he interacted first with Lapis Lazuli, with his astral projection powers, falling asleep and then interacting with her in her dream, and then we saw he did it with Kiki. Or his healing spit. First he used it with Connie, then he used it with Lapis, Eyeball, and I think he also used it with Greg. Greg pretended like it didn't work, so that way he could still hang out with Steven. So with that in mind, with Steven's powers being used in both humans and gems, we now know he has the power to resurrect people. So we don't know if that's limited to just organic life, and we don't know if Rose ever tried resurrecting a shattered gem before. All we know is the gems just said, like, if a gem's shattered, they're gone for good, but we don't know how much weight that actually holds. Plus, Steven isn't Rose. His abilities do differ ever so slightly, so I do think it's possible that we will see a shattered gem be brought back. As for that gem being Pink Diamond, I would think that's a likely scenario, but I don't want to spill everything that I'm going to say in Monday's Crystal Clear right now. But thank you, Rose T, for your reaction.
What if the cluster was them, like, running experiments trying to bring back Pink Diamond?
That's actually a popular theory I've seen before. Not an attempt to bring Pink Diamond, but like a test to see if it's possible.
Yeah.
I can see that just because the cluster itself, even though it's composed of different gem shards, if they all form, ideally it would make like an entirely new being, kind of like a fusion. Who knows? I do think it's part geoweapon, but for it to be revealed, or it is a geoweapon, but for it to be revealed, like it's also part of experiment, part of an attempt to create new life or a new gem out of gem shards, see if it retains any memories or anything. I think that's a very interesting concept, and it very well could happen in the show.
They could have been like researching it to see if they could bring back Pink Diamond, and then they realized, oh, we can use this as a geo weapon. So then that's where cluster idea came from.
Yeah, I think both of those are very, very like exciting ideas. But thank you, Rosie, for your reaction.
Hey guys, my name is Candace. I'm here to talk about the trial reaction, and I thought this was a very interesting episode because of what Blue Zircon said about how Rose Quartz was a known enemy of Homeworld at the time, so how did she get so close to Pink Diamond to shatter her? But my thing is, the diamonds only have that type of access to even be near a diamond, so my question is, where were the diamonds when she was shattered?
That brings up some questions. I mean, we saw in Jungle Moon that, like, Yellow Diamond was kind of like babysitting Pink Diamond. How much time passed between that and Pink Diamond getting shattered? Because what you could assume is that, you know, maybe there weren't any diamonds around because that was a point where Pink Diamond had matured enough to where they felt like she can go off on her own. And then maybe after she was shattered, they might bring in and be like, oh, like, we let her off too soon. Like, someone should have been with her. If one of us was with her, this wouldn't have happened. Or maybe even, like, Yellow was supposed to be around, and then she wasn't for whatever reason. That's why she might feel like she's partly to blame. I feel like that's a theory that brings up some more questions.
Yeah. I also want to talk about the placement of the episode The Answer, that flashback in the timeline, because I speculated for it could take place after Pink's shattering, but I do think it's also possible, like, since we got more information, that it took place, you know, before Pink was shattered, and that would mean Blue Diamond was on the Earth prior to Pink shattering. And I think in general, like, if you know a colony's under attack by other gems, that, like, they should have had at least one of the diamonds should have been on the planet frequently. But maybe, like, Rose knew that, and maybe she knew when the diamonds were off-site to go back to her own colonies or go back to Homeworld, and that's when she took the chance to strike.
I mean, Rose was a military leader, so, like, it's not like she was just, like, walking around one day and it's like, oh, Pink Diamond's alone, let's just go and shatter her. Like, there was definitely some strategy going in there and some planning.
And I think if anywhere, there's definitely spies, maybe even on both sides. But I definitely think Crystal Gems has some spies inside of Homeworld.
You saying there's a mole?
Yeah, inside of Pink's court, her entourage. So maybe they knew, like, oh yeah, Pink's going to be alone at this day and time. Or, you know, even if one of the diamonds collaborated with Rose, maybe they were like, yeah, we're going to be off this site on this time of this cycle, so that's when you should strike and shatter her. But then also, for the diamonds not being there, you also chalk it up to maybe Pink had more muscle in her entourage by that point, like maybe more stronger gems were at her side. and they thought, like, all right, like, we have these gems, so hopefully these gems will be able to take care of a rose quartz and a few other crystal gems. But obviously they were wrong for reasons that we have yet to get details on.
And that might have been a turning point for the crystal gems. Because it might have been something where it's like, well, you know, Pink, here's just like an easy thing for you to do. Like, just get rid of these crystal gems. They've been a pain in our butt. Like, just get rid of them, and then we don't have to worry about them. And then they shattered Pink Diamond, and they're like, okay, this is a problem.
Yeah. But I do think that's a question that will be addressed in the show directly, because it is an important question. Like, okay, where were these leaders? Essentially, Pink's maternal figures. Thank you, Candace, for your reaction.
My new theory, after rewatching the trial, is that yellow and blue pearl are actually Era 2 gems. Our own Pearl, that lives in Beach City, can witness events in history and project them through her gem, as we saw with Rose. But these two gems needed to take notes on screens. If they really wanted to record the trial, why didn't they just watch it and project it later? It's weird. I have another pretty outlandish theory that other than soldiers, which were necessary to the diamonds, the rest of the Era 1 gems were actually left on Earth and corrupted. Because really, other than the Famicet and Jasper and some rubies, we have yet to see another gem that can use their gem weapon and are not Era 2, unless they were stuck on Earth and avoided corruption.
When she was saying, like, the Era 2 gems, and, like, we've only seen Jasper and Eyeball can use their weapons, but also Holly Blue Agates. It might have just been a thing, like, her theory that might be right, that they just did, like, a mass genocide for that entire era of gems. They just protected certain ones that they thought were useful. So, I mean, that's likely.
I mean, the diamonds are tactical rulers, and I feel like something a tactical ruler would do. But also, this is still like a kid show, so maybe not. But maybe, like, if we find out, like, there was a bulk of Era 1 gems that they corrupted off screen, that's a possibility. As for the blue pearl and yellow pearl being Era 2 gems, I think it's possible. I think the only thing really getting in the way is that we've seen yellow pearl and blue pearl in flashbacks.
Oh yeah, that's true. We did see blue pearl in the
answer. Yeah. And then yellow pearl had a selfie with yellow diamond and jungle moon on that computer. But also Pink Diamond's insignia was missing on that supercomputer when Savani opened it.
Yeah.
So maybe it was last checked up at the beginning of Era 2, when Pink was already moved from the insignia, since we know that was the insignia they had during the war. So that's like what Centipede drew, and she drew that before she was even corrupted, like that form of the insignia that had, it wasn't the current one, but it was like the original one, just missing Pink Diamond's gemstone. As for not projecting it, I think that's a very good point, but also that might be an ability exclusive to our Pearl, which may be reflective of the diamond she served, which could be White Diamond.
There also could be generations of pearls. So, like, maybe the one we saw in the answer isn't the same one we see now.
Yeah, and I've seen other people throw it out before, like, oh, you know, maybe the diamond's pearls get, like, replaced every so often, or maybe even the diamonds have multiple pearls, and we were just unaware. And it can be kind of like how OKKO, how, like, Boxman has, like, you know, his Daryls and Shannons and Raymonds.
And they just get reproduced.
Yeah, but, like, they still have, like...
the same personality.
Yeah, same personality, like, same conscious. So, thank you, Rose Gold, for your theory. I think that'd be an interesting way to explore, like, the darker side of Homeworld, if they did, like, wipe out most of the Era 1 gems, or, you know, maybe that's what happened to Pink's court. I definitely think it's something that would be a bold move even for the series, and it would definitely put, like, a higher level of irredeemability for the diamonds. Next week, we're going to look at Monster Union, the episode where Centipede returns in her half-uncorrupted form. What theories do you have surrounding the gem war? Centipede herself, what kind of gem do you think she is? Leave your thoughts on Stardust and be sure to tag us in your reaction at Roundtable Vids. Link to Stardust in the description. Now, this next segment, which we do every week, is the Community tab section. So at the beginning of each week, I leave a little post on our Community tab asking, hey, drop your fan theories for this week's Crystal Clear. This is what episode we're talking about, but we also want to hear your own fan theories are related to the episode, just about anything. So without further ado, let's dive in. Our first one comes from Jana Angova. What if when Steven enters the Corrupted Gem's head, he has to fight White Diamond? So I think to add more context to this, from my understanding, because I kind of speculated something similar to this before, is that this is under the assumption White Diamond has mind powers, and with those mind powers and corruption, we know corruption is more of a terror to the mind. If he enters their head, then like an impression of White Diamond,
like a projection,
would await him, and he has to defeat that projection, that manifestation of white diamond in order to fully heal a corrupted gem. And I think that'd be really exciting, but like there's not really much to really support it, just because white diamond having mind powers is, I think, the most likely angle for her powers. It's really just based off of speculation and gut feelings.
That sounds like a concept for a video game.
The show does take a lot of influence from video games, so it's possible, and I mean, I'm down for it. As how much it holds up, like I said, there's not much supporting it. But thank you, Jana, for your submission. This next one comes from Level OB. Have you ever tried a theory on whether or not Lapis is familiar with Pink Diamond? And I feel like Lapis would have to be familiar with Pink Diamond just because she's from Era 1, and she was on the Earth, maybe prior to Pink's shattering, but I think just being Era 1, you're going to be familiar with Pink Diamond, because she was on the insignia, and like I said, Lapis was on her colony. It would make no sense for her not to know Pink Diamond. How much she knows about Pink Diamond, or if they met before, is yet to be seen, just because we know Blue was close to Pink, so maybe Pink's court was close to Blue's court, if she kept them like in close quarters. But I think that could be a future plot point. Maybe Steven will ask Lapis how much she knows about Pink Diamond, just because Lapis seems to have, some information that she hasn't divulged yet, just because she hasn't really been asked about it, because, she's kind of going through her own thing right now.
That barn treatment that Slice talks about.
Yeah, but thank you, Level, for your comment. This next one comes from Minecraft Wings of Fire. Hey, I have a theory that Yellow shattered Pink, because Yellow loved Blue, but Blue loved Pink, so Yellow shattered Pink in rage that Blue would not love her.
Didn't I say last week that something sounded like a Swaggy theory? I think they actually had this exact theory on his channel at one point.
I think it's clear at this point the diamonds were like mothers to Pink, so I don't think Yellow... First of all, I just generally don't think Yellow shattered Pink. Like, I actually want to make a Crystal Clear episode dedicated to debunking and giving reasons why Yellow didn't shatter Pink. I definitely think Yellow did not shatter her in rage, plus it seemed like Pink's demise was something that was a lot more elaborate, a lot more planned, and we know that Yellow has a short temper. So if Yellow wanted to shatter Pink, she would have just done it without the planning. Mm-hmm. Like as soon as Pink pissed her off, she would have just on site just. And then you got like buildings falling. There's chaos everywhere. Rubies are screaming.
Or maybe she would just done what she did to Zircon, just
yeah. Thank you, Minecraft Wings of Fire. Love the username, by the way, for your theory. This next one comes from Thick Penguino. What if Emerald finds Lapis and takes her hostage? She can try the Sun Incinerator, but she can ask many questions about the barn, Gems, Steven, Rose, and other things.
Would she know that Lapis knows about all that stuff, though?
Yeah, that's also what I was thinking.
Just imagine you're writing a story, and it's you have a guy on the street who's a firefighter, and he's just in street clothes, and then your character goes up and starts asking about firefighting. It's how does your character know he's a firefighter?
Yeah.
It's just a random person. You need to establish that first.
Yeah, the only real parallel I could see with that is just how Lapis in the war was mistaken for a crystal gem. But the only reason why she was mistaken for a crystal gem because she was poofed during a battle.
Yeah, and Lapis isn't if she gets taken hostage, she's not gonna be oh, I was with the crystal gems just now. It's if you get pulled over by a cop and you're yeah, I was just at that crack house down the street. You're not gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm inclined to disagree just because there's no implication that Lapis is part of the crystal gem. She doesn't have a star.
Yeah.
She's a gem just kind of chilling in space. And even if she's with the barn, that could be chalked up to just that already being floating in space. Because Homeworld's not familiar with Earth or Earth structures, at least modern day gems. And even if Emerald was on Earth, she's not gonna know what a barn is.
Mm-hmm. Even if Emerald crossed paths with Lapis, I don't think she would really have a reason to take her hostage.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, because Lapis went back to Homeworld and did all this stuff with Jasper and everything, so she might be considered a wanted gem.
Yeah, I do think if they have Lapis on files and when the missing gems and then come back to Homeworld, I think it's possible maybe they do have on file that there's a Lapis Lazuli missing that maybe Emerald knows about if she is going to Earth.
I don't know if she would question her about the gems and everything though. She might be what were you there to do? And then she's I was surfboarding. It's you're Lapis, why do you need to surfboard?
Well, I mean, that this has me thinking, Homeworld did send Peridot, Jasper, and Lapis to Earth, and Yellow Diamond sent the rubies to retrieve Jasper. Assuming Blue was so much responsible for saying Lapis, does that mean she's responsible for keeping tabs on Lapis? And does she know that Lapis has not returned yet? Because when she was on Earth for more Pink, she didn't really address Lapis. So is Lapis just forgotten? Is she on file? I think that could be a forgotten plot thread, or that could be very intentional.
I mean, it seemed Yellow didn't know what was going on with Peridot. And also, we don't know how much Emerald knows as far as, all that stuff. Because, what is Emerald anyways?
They said on the podcast she's a high-ranking gem. Gems would keep reporting to their higher-ups, and it would just go all the way up to Emerald. And so I'm assuming she's, just barely below the diamonds.
Okay. But also, Does Blue even know Lapis is doing that?
I mean, I don't think anyone knows that Lapis was hanging out on Earth just being a crystal gem. I think, if anything, Peridot was just like the only one who lashed out Yellow Diamond. So Peridot's the only one that they could suspect as being a traitor. So where Lapis and Jasper are just kind of a mystery to them.
Then that theory doesn't really seem likely then.
But either way, thank you, Thick Penguin, and I hope you stay thick.
Thick Penguino gave us a good topic.
This one comes from Nicole Urban. Maybe a little out there, but what if the culprits are another species of aliens? I personally believe the Crudiverse aren't going to make it the obvious choices of the diamonds we know, but something completely different. Maybe there are other diamonds out there, and other societies with them, or maybe some other intelligent being shattered pink diamond. Like humans have their own society and government just like the gems, but are not the same species. So intelligent alien life isn't really a crazy idea. I would have to say maybe. I mean, they have alluded to it being one of the diamonds, so it would be a slap in the face to be like, oh, which one of the diamonds is it? Neither of them. I feel like Yellow Diamond is already a red herring enough.
I feel like that would just get too
complicated.
Yeah, like if you're just like, oh, but it wasn't the diamonds, it was another alien species, and they have this whole vendetta, and it would get too convoluted if they did that. So
I mean, we've seen alien species in Jungle, but I do believe there's another intelligent life alien species out there.
Definitely.
And I think it's tied to the Joe conspiracy about the Sneeple that Renardo was really passionate about. I think that'll come back to play, but I don't think it's involved with pink shattering. I think that's something that's going to come up in a different point in time. As for that said alien species actually knowing pink diamond, that's a possibility. Maybe they did come to Earth. If there is a species hiding out on Earth right now, then they got there thousands of years ago. But it's just something we gotta wait and see. But I don't think that'll be anything that ties into this current arc of who shattered pink diamond. Either way, thank you, Nicole, for your theory. Our last one comes from Demi Viral. I think Padparadscha might prove to have some interesting use in this whole murder mystery. I personally think that she may have the ability to go into the past, because her visions so far have been events that recently happened, not so much just seeing the present we were told. Maybe Padparadscha can't do this on her own, but maybe if she fused, or maybe through some help from Garnet, how would Garnet passing along the future vision react to another form of the ability already being present, perhaps empowering the ability?
I feel like I've heard the first part of that a few times. And I think that what the explanation I've heard kind of debunking that is that she can only see things that like just happened and she can't go back that far. But the second part adds another dimension to that makes it a bit more possible.
Let's spin this theory into a concept of Garnet and Padparadscha fusing. I think both future and slightly delayed future vision would actually be heightened to almost an omnipresent future or vision of just like they can see the past, they can see the present, they can see the future.
They can see different spaces in time we aren't even aware of.
Oh God, that'd be horrifying.
Just painful existence.
But Padparadscha and Garnet fusion, I think that'd be interesting. I think something that we could see, or maybe even just a Sapphire and Padparadscha fusion.
Yeah, that would probably be more practical. Just that way you don't have to have just a giant gem.
I definitely think that'd be an interesting take, like having a brand new fusion of two Sapphires, but one's a Padparadscha, one's just a regular Sapphire, one has future vision, one has delayed vision, present vision, and that turning to past vision. I think it would help for events Steven would not be able to see otherwise. The likeness of it happening, I think that depends on the off-cards coming to Earth and their interactions. Padparadscha already hasn't really had an actual conversation on the show, just more of
statements.
Yeah, so I think that also require her actually talking to Sapphire or Garnet, which may be a bit difficult for them to write, but I would appreciate that happening.
Like a delayed reaction, like she's answering questions from like a minute ago.
But either way, thank you, Demi, for your question. And that wraps up another episode of Crystal Clear IRL. What were your favorite fan theories? What fan theories do you have of your own? Be sure to drop them in the comments below, and if you want to communicate with us beyond the show, be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Roundtable Vids, or tweet us personally at AwestruckVox and TommyPQM.
What's that?
What's that?
What is that? It just has like all my stuff on it. What is that?
What?
Has that been there the whole time?
What?
Has that been happening this entire time?
What time?
What is that?
I'm so confused.
What is that?
If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, be sure to share it with your friends, your theory groups, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, it really helps us out. Hit that bell for notifications so you can stay in the loop with all things Steven. I've been AwestruckVox.
My name is Tom.
And we're signing out.
Oh my God, what the fuck is that?